Why do you believe it to be that apathy, violence, stoicism, and negativity are so prevalent in their system, in this environment, in this atmosphere, in this milieu? Why do you think that you're continually bombarded, inundated, and deluged with these observable experiences that you assimilate, integrate, and acclimate to on a continuous and daily basis? The reason is sinister, but it's simple. Whenever you watch a television program or a video on YouTube or perhaps video games, something on your computer, your tablet, cell phone, whatever it is, you have to understand that your cell phone, your tablet, your laptop, your computer monitor, your television, those are all portals through which energy streams through channels or frequencies from the point of transmission to the point of reception, which is always your subconscious intelligence. So you are consciously selecting the channel to which will saturate your mind with whatever energies you are willing to observe and experience and encounter and be bombarded by. When you sit and watch the news is always negative. So imagine for a minute that portal is like a floodgate, and you open it up and water is just shooting through that floodgate. But it's not filling up just your home, because it is doing that. It's filling every area of your home with that specific type of energy, which is always negative and detrimental. But even more so, it's filling your mind, because your mind is a glass only from which your life shall drink. That's why you should always be mindful of what you fill it with. So if you're watching the news, you are immediately connecting with nefarious, malevolent energies. So therefore, no good comes of that. You are immediately and instantaneously lowering the vibration. So what happens is, through that portal that you call a television, because you could take your TV, turn it on its side, and it's a door, just like a cell phone. There are portals, there are doorways, gateways through which the darkness enters into this physical existence. And when you watch the news, you have to understand something. There is something happening that you are unaware of, that your physical mind cannot perceive it, but your soul, the metaphysical cosmic mind, can. There are deleterious, nefarious, embedded codes within those streams of energy that are deliberately sabotaging your imagination and preventing you from manifesting anything of a positive nature. So when you consciously turn on that television, because you are selecting the channel, not only the channel number, whatever it is, could be 12, 15, but the channel of energy that's going to be streaming through, you are essentially the catalyst of your own demise. And you are now working as an ally and a partner for the darkness in getting you to destroy yourself and others around you by assimilating the toxicity of this malevolent energy, and you are beginning to carry it, transfer it to others, like a chain reaction, like dominoes. So this lowers your vibration. So now you are a vibrational equivalent to all malevolent energies, and now you become a transmitter, and you begin to activate all these kindred elements that surround you of the darkness. You draw them into the experience of your reality. It has nothing to do with attraction, everything to do with activation, because they are always there. They're just patiently waiting for some unconscious individual trapped in a sleepless slumber to utilize their powers of manifestation towards something of a self-destructive nature, because most people are oblivious to the cosmic abilities they possess and they carry. They don't realize that they are supernatural, esoteric alchemists, that they can manifest anything they want. But what the Matrix is doing is it's keeping you blinded to that reality while utilizing those immense, immeasurable, unlimited transformative powers to its own nefarious ends and means and devices to fulfill its agendas. So it's essentially keeping you blinded to what and who you really are, but at the same time, it's utilizing your power for its own means. And it's keeping you trapped within this illusionary universe, and you don't even realize it. So essentially, you're being used to the greatest degree, and abused, and mistreated, and you go along with it. You fight this attempt by the universe to awaken you by defending this system, It is what I refer to as being analogous to the Stockholm Syndrome. I've mentioned this in a few videos before. So when you are consciously watching the news or violent movies or violent video games or something of a negative nature on YouTube, or you're on social media, if you're reading something like a post of a negative nature, whatever it is, anything of a negative nature that's being streamed through some form or sort of portal, that's a cell phone, tablet, an iPad, a computer monitor, television, doesn't matter. That's not a screen. That's a portal that you are now consciously choosing to saturate your energy with the toxicity of malevolent, nefarious, evil energies. And that's what's going to happen. So what happens is this is where dark autosuggestion, shadow projection, and the dark arts take hold. The ethers of dark matter are now transmitted through these wavelengths. So you are essentially now becoming a willing participant in this experiment of turning this unlimited transformative potential you possess towards creating something of a positive nature of substance, now transmuting it and converting it into being utilized for the forces of darkness. That's how they get you to not only destroy yourself, but to destroy the reality that surrounds you. Because once these nefarious seeds make it into the subconscious levels of your physical imagination, the physical mind, they immediately begin to take root, germinate, and go to work on becoming whatever nefarious agenda the darkness has planned. So that's why the mind will work feverishly on behalf of whatever is suggested to it to manifest this thing through to fruition into physical form. So you are unaware of the fact that you are being used and played and manipulated and deceived. Your powers are being diverted from being something of a productive nature to something being of a destructive nature. And you don't even realize it. So when you're on the highway, somebody cuts you off, you curse them out. They're tailgating you, they upset you. You're feeding into it, you're propagating it, you're perpetuating it. You're carrying the baton and passing it on to somebody else. The ego forces you to actively seek conflict in any form because it must satiate its morbid curiosity. That's why when you're on the parkway and there's a traffic jam, and then you wonder what's going on, is there an accident, something happened, and then you, like 2 miles down the road, you see some dude on the side of the road with his hood up because he's got mechanical problems, and everybody's staring like, is there a body? Is there blood? Is somebody dead? Is this a crime scene? Because that is the morbid curiosity of the ego. Human beings are highly predictable. That's why they're easily controllable. The human mind is the easiest thing in the world to control, yet shall forever remain the hardest thing in the universe to open. Because once the human mind has been breached by the system, it is impossible to bring it to a level of awareness or awakening, because you now have instilled belief systems, which are nothing more than divisive mechanisms that are the antithesis of consciousness. This is demonic unconsciousness, which compresses your divine consciousness and manipulates it into a form that's usable and viable for its own nefarious purposes. That, again, reverts back to what I was saying about watching the news. Watch and experience this anomaly. If you're in a really great mood, high vibration, turn on the news and watch how fast the atmosphere in your house changes and how your demeanor, your character, and your mood changes from happy and nice and positive to miserable, negative, and low. That's the power of energy, and that's exactly where they want to keep you indefinitely. So you have to be very conscious and consciously aware of the fact that you have to be a master of your own energy by never allowing anything or anyone to own it, to possess it, or to control it. And by doing this, you now take full control of the operative powers that are the life force energy that animates all of your physical visions into being a physical reality. And I say physical visions because you see something you want in the physical and you want the same. But these are actually metaphysical elements that your visions and dreams, the things you envision, things you conceptualize, those are metaphysical elements. They already exist in your imagination. You just have to bring them through to fruition, cross over the bridge, rainbow bridge, because they're already here. The reason why you're not seeing them is because you're not a vibrational equivalent to the frequency of whatever, vibration they're on. It's just that simple. But getting back to my initial point of be very cautious about what you're tuning into, because whatever you're tuning into is tuning into you. As a process, how it goes. When you turn your cell phone on and you consciously select, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Google, be careful of what you're actually consciously choosing to observe and become a part of, because it's becoming a part of you. It's invariably the same process. It's inextricable. Now you are intertwining energies. You are locking yourself to this thing. You are tethering a connection to which this is a conduit that has now been established, and there's not a reciprocity going on here. It's an unrequited exchange. They're not giving you anything. They're taking from you and lowering your vibration. So just be cognizant of the power of choice and decision you are given and granted by the universe. You have to consciously choose only the most highly nutritive elements of this physical world, not just foods and beverages, because the mind subsists from thoughts and ideas. The heart subsists and sustains itself on feelings and emotions, and the soul sustains itself and subsists off of energies, frequencies, and vibrations. So you have to feed each one only the highest possible quality elements. Eating organic, natural foods, drinking pure water, having good thoughts. Your inner conversation has to match your outer conversation. The conversations you have with the universe inside have to match the conversations you have with people in this world. They have to be aligned. Same holds true for whatever your soul is tapped into and your heart. It all has to be aligned properly, or else you are not a divine transceiver. You are not a proper functioning antenna to receive divine transmissions. So you have to be consciously aware of the fact that this matrix is going to go through every extent to block you from realizing how amazingly powerful you really are, by trapping you in the density of this terrestrial environment known as the system. So you have the conscious ability to be aware of the fact that you have intravenously connected yourself to a cesspool that's killing you by watching the news, video games, violent movies, Hollywood. Hollywood is pure evil. The music industry is pure evil. It's run by the same cult. They're not going to offer you something of light and substance. It's always of darkness and inconsequential frivolity. That's how they keep you confused and afraid, and indecision, indecisiveness, uncertainty, paranoia, fear, trepidation, doubt paralyzes your mind and prevents you from moving forward in a metaphorical sense. And that's exactly their prime directive, is to trap you in an illusionary penitentiary, in a prison of your own mind games, and give you everything you need in order for you to destroy yourself and everyone around you by propagating this evil and perpetuating negativity everywhere on the face of the earth. So just be consciously aware of whatever videos you're gravitating towards, because something in you is resonating with something in that. And then when you resonate with something, you invariably embrace it. And the two become one. So, like I've said, your mind is a glass, an empty glass, that you consciously choose to fill whatever. But that is the glass from which only your life shall drink. So be consciously aware of what you're choosing to fill it with, because it can either be something of a positive, healthy nature, or something poisonous and detrimental. But the choice is always yours, because you can either be an ally to God or forever remain a hostage to your ego. Be well.